So I'm just sitting here lounging on this sidewalk here in front of a beautiful community garden. Let me turn that around. This is the Highland Community Garden. It's right on the corner, and there are these nice chairs just sitting out, so I thought this is where I'll start the video because it's so conducive to just the vibes of this neighborhood. Very laid back, very relaxed. So we're gonna walk around in just a second. I'm gonna get off of my butt from this comfy chair. We're gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you the neighborhood, and then we're gonna hop in the car and I'm gonna drive around so you can get a better idea of the Highland and Grant neighborhood from the car perspective. But before I do that, I was sitting here and a guy was walking past with his dog, cute little husky, and I told him, you know, I'm making a video and I would love to chat with you.
I'm making a YouTube video about the neighborhood.
And I asked him, you know, what are the pros and cons of this area, and he gave me some really helpful insights that I'm going to share with you so that you have a better understanding what it's really like to live in this neighborhood from the perspective of somebody who lives in this neighborhood. My name is Clarity Odd and I'm a local real estate broker here in Salem, making videos for you, my future clients who are relocating to this area. If you want to work with us during the home buying process, go down to the description of this video where you're going to find all of our contact information. Reach out so that we can help you purchase a home here. All right, let's get up. It's so comfy, but let's go. All right, here's another look at the garden. Very cute. It looks like a lot of things are growing right now. Lots of tomatoes and basil and peppers. We've got some pumpkins. It is almost October, and so we have a lot of pumpkins growing. You can see there's some kale and collards. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the Grant and Highland neighborhood, because this is a neighborhood that I think is really overlooked, and I myself am guilty of this. I don't really explore too many neighborhoods north of downtown, and I tend to stay towards South Salem. But this is a neighborhood that is a very, very sweet one and should be on your radar if you like the idea of having a neighborhood that you can walk to downtown, you can walk to the farmer's market, you can walk to everything that you need. Before I get too ahead of myself in this video, I do want to bring to your attention where exactly the Grant and Highland neighborhood are located. Right now, we are looking at my Salem, Oregon neighborhood map that I've created for you to catalog all of the videos that I create and the neighborhoods in question. So we're going to go over here, uncheck the main sections, uncheck major neighborhoods, and we're left with my favorite neighborhoods. If we zoom in here, this is the Grant and Highland neighborhood that we're talking about today. Here is downtown Salem. And the cool thing about this entire map, if you click on that section, it's going to pull up the video associated with the neighborhood we're talking about. If you want to check out this free map for yourself, just go down to the description of this video and you'll see a link. If you are looking for an older home or a home that might need some renovations, for all of my friends out there who really love avocado green and pink bathrooms, you're going to find a lot of people have lived in their homes for 30, 40, 50 years and they haven't renovated them. So if you want a project home, this is a great neighborhood to check out. Some similar neighborhoods to the Grant and Highland neighborhood are going to be Bush Park, which is south of downtown, and then also the Fairmount neighborhood. Now, why these are similar to those two neighborhoods is because of the historic homes that you're gonna find. These homes are smaller than what you would find in the Fairmount and Bush Park neighborhood, but equally as charming and quintessential. So we do have a church being re-roofed up here, so I'm just gonna flip this around and show you some of the houses that you find in this area. So like I was mentioning, a lot of these homes are going to be older homes. You can see that they are smaller in nature. There's a lot of cottages and bungalows. This neighborhood really reminds me a lot of Portland and the Laurelhurst neighborhood, Ladd's Addition, Mount Tabor. I grew up in Mount Tabor, and these neighborhoods, they're just so cute and quintessential. And a really defining feature of the Grant and Highland area is the mature foliage and trees that you're gonna find everywhere. Beautiful gardens and just cute little cottages. All right, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you this house across the street. That is a 4-square home, very popular style of home in the Pacific Northwest. That's kind of the odd one out in the Grant neighborhood. So you can see that, you know, there's that big house. It's probably even a duplex or triplex. And then you have kind of these smaller houses, and those smaller houses are more reminiscent of what you're typically gonna find in this area. Ooh, little mushy, cute. My clients who typically gravitate towards this neighborhood, my most recent clients, there were a couple, they were wanting to purchase a home that they could build some sweat equity and do some work, but they didn't necessarily want, like, you know, a total gut job. And so they landed in this neighborhood because they found the perfect project house where, you know, over the next 5-10 years they could really build up the equity in the home through projects. And you know, this is a perfect neighborhood for that. They wanted to be able to walk to the farmer's market, and again, this is like the perfect neighborhood for both of those things. All right, so like my clients moved into this neighborhood, the biggest reason really is the location, why people gravitate towards it. I mentioned earlier that Bush Park and Fairmount Hill are very similar in terms of the style and heritage and character of the neighborhood, but Highland and Grant is very different than the Fairmount area for one large reason, and that is the price tag of the properties. So the houses here tend to be a little bit smaller and more affordable. So if you're wanting that historic home, you want that walkability that Bush Park and Fairmount can offer you, but your budget might not be as large as those neighborhoods need or require, this will be a fun place for you to check out instead of those neighborhoods. Right now, I'm gonna flip the camera around. Right now we are walking down an alleyway in the Grant and Highland neighborhood. Alleyways are very, very common in these older neighborhoods in Salem. And the cool thing, you'll kind of see, I'm not gonna open this person's gate, but right here, this opens. And so if you wanted to drive your car into the alleyway, some people make these into driveways at the back of the house, or you know, if you want like a big project to do and you need to deliver materials, you can also do that through these open gates. And these houses that have alley access, they tend to have bigger lots. Look at those puppies. They tend to have bigger lots and bigger backyards. I don't think they're used to seeing people walk down here very much. All right, look, we have these gorgeous grapes growing right there. These are brambles, blackberries. Those are super common, and you're gonna have to deal with them if you have any type of yard here. So this is a good example. I'm gonna flip the camera. You can see this person does not have a fence on the edge of their lot line. And so this is what the backyards look like in this area. You can see that it's pretty darn spacious for this location and being so close to downtown. You don't always get, you know, big lots like this. We've got some kind of fruit tree over there, but it's just a really nice neighborhood to check out if you're wanting a bigger backyard. This neighborhood also has the Grant Community School, which is a really great Spanish immersion school. So if you have little kiddos and you want to put them into a Spanish immersion program, Grant Community School is one that you should probably have on your radar. You can see here that this is a designation where you can get, you know, they've planted plants for the birds. A lot of people are very mindful about bringing back native species to our gardens. They've got strawberries there, gorgeous maple. so stinking cute. This was another neighborhood in Salem that I learned about too late. And because this neighborhood is so similar to a lot of Portland neighborhoods, it feels very homey for me. And I think I would have been really happy if I purchased a home here originally when my husband and I moved here. I think I would have been really happy here. I also say that about the Fairmount neighborhood, about Bush Park, because they're all just so similar. The vibe is, it's just really chill. Like, you can just walk around and I don't know, I love it. One of the biggest drawbacks that I was told from the guy who lives here when he was just walking by me, oh my God, look at this cactus. You got a little baby prickly pear. Oh my goodness. It's always been a dream of mine to have a cactus that can produce prickly pears. The only thing that I can keep alive is a cactus. And even that can be a little bit sketchy. I did get this one cactus from Home Depot, and you know how they like glue fake flowers onto those cactuses? Well, I didn't know that until I saw it on the internet. I was like, wait a minute, my cactus does not have a flower? And so I plucked it off, and this cactus has survived for 10 years. I just leave it outside, let it do its thing, and that is the longest plant that I've ever kept alive. I'm so impressed. It started as, you know, one of those little tiny Home Depot ones, and shoot, now it's like huge and it blooms every year for just one day. It's very, very cool. Look at the kitty. Hi, kitty. Hi. Hello, pretty kitty. Hi. Hello. So cute. So my friend who I was talking to at the beginning, who was walking by, his words, not mine here, he was saying one of the biggest cons to living here is the homeless population that walks through this area. Remember, these are not my words. This is what he was telling me.
I see a lot of them like walking by like every other day and stuff. So.
And I've heard that from more than just him before. So if this is a neighborhood that you're considering, you know, it's quiet, it's peaceful right now. I haven't seen any homeless people. That's not to say that, you know, they don't exist here. But you do need to be mindful that because this neighborhood is so close to downtown, it is going to have certain issues that you might not find in other neighborhoods that are located a little bit further from downtown where those homeless resources centers are. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. As with any place in Oregon, in a lot of these other cities and states, you know, we do have a homeless crisis. There's no way to sugarcoat it, and you do need to be mindful of that if you're thinking about moving to this area. There are a lot of fruit trees here. Here's a gorgeous apple tree. It is, oh my gosh, look at that cute pup. Hello, little puppy. So cute. There are a lot of dogs here, as you can see. A lot of people just out walking around, which is always a good sign, right? It's like the middle of the day right now, and there are people that are walking around and gardening and doing their thing. All right, let's go hop in the car so that you can get a better understanding from a driving perspective what this neighborhood is all about. After that, we are then going to look at a typical home that's for sale in this area. All right, friends, we are coming up on some gorgeous older homes to the left here. Those used to be residential buildings or houses, but now they are property of the state. We're starting in the Grant neighborhood, and we're going to work our way up into the Highland neighborhood, which is just north of the Grant neighborhood. We're just going to be meandering throughout these neighborhoods so that you can get a better feel for the tree-lined streets, the style of homes that you're going to find, and everything in between. I am going to dip out of the residential neighborhood and go on to Capitol Street. At that point, I will let you know in the video what's going on, but I'm dipping out of the residential neighborhood, and when I go back in, I'm going to be headed into the Highland neighborhood. So that is going to be kind of the distinction of where one neighborhood ends and the other one begins. Right now, we are coming up onto the Grant Community School, which is the Spanish immersion school that I was talking about. So that's in the upper corner there on the left-hand side. Now, if you are curious about this neighborhood, you can put a question in the comments, but if you're also ready to work with us in the home buying process, let us know. Reach out, because there's so many great neighborhoods in Salem that you might not even know about, and we want to help figure out with you, what neighborhood is going to be best for your lifestyle. So don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to work with you. All right, without further ado, enjoy the rest of this driving tour. All right, we're going to be taking a look at some of the recently sold properties in this area so you can get a good idea of what to expect from these homes. Unfortunately, at the time of this filming, all of the properties that were currently for sale in this area were owner occupied, and I didn't feel comfortable going in there to film and show you guys. So we're going to look at the sold properties over here. We've got Grant neighborhood down here and then Highland right there. As you can see, the price points are in the 300s. We do have some in the 400s, but you can expect most properties in this area to be under $400,000. Of course, there are going to be exceptions to that. Okay, let's check out this one. This is a cute little craftsman bungalow here, pretty reminiscent of what you can expect in this neighborhood. It looks like this one has an ADU. Looks like it has original hardwood floors and trim, which is a huge and common feature of these properties. Like I mentioned earlier, these can be project houses. If you wanted to restore any of the historical charm, you could certainly do that. A lot of people come in here and flip these properties and, take out some of that character. If you are somebody who loves historical homes and you want to be a custodian of those properties, this is a great area to check out too. This one does have a basement, which is not uncommon here in the Grant and Highland area. It's pretty common just in the Northwest in general for us to have basements. Got cute little penny tiles here, clawfoot tub. And let me go back. This is a petite bathroom. That is pretty common for this neighborhood. Older homes typically have smaller bedrooms and bathrooms, so keep that in mind. This looks like it must be part of the ADU. All right, let's take a look at some of the other homes that are available. Let me go back actually. So this one was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,200 square feet. That is bigger than a lot of the homes in this area. This is a great one too. All right, so here you can see we've got a driveway, pretty typical of this area for most of the homes. This is an older kitchen, a lot of great potential there for renovating it. You're going to find a lot of these houses have these cute little archways and a little breakfast nook over here. Beautiful built-in cabinets. Again, a smaller bathroom, but a lot of potential. Gorgeous, gorgeous hardwood floors there. And just a very charming, cute little cottage. If you enjoyed this walking tour of the Grant and Highland neighborhood in North Salem, you are going to want to watch this video next. Bye, friends!